So last week, I was trying to install a new software on my desktop computer, and after trying for a little bit of time struggling with it, I saw that it was not functioning well. So I'm obviously not very techno savvy. So I called one of my friends who is an expert in computers, and he came and he saw, and he told me, Salil, the software you are installing is not compatible with your operating system, and this is why your computer is not functioning well. And this incidence of incompatibility between the software and my operating system, it also is very similar to what actually happens with us. In Ayurveda, we always say that a condition of health is when there is a harmony between the outside world and the inside world. And what we call it as disease. So the word itself, dis-ease, or a disturbance in a sense of ease, comes when there is a disharmony between the external world and the internal world. Each of us, we have a very unique internal environment, and so we require very unique things from the external world that can create a sense of ease and harmony and a sense of well-being for all of us. This concept of uniqueness or individuality in Ayurveda, it is called as Prakriti. Ayurveda believes, and this comes from the Sankhya philosophy, that the world that we experience around us is made up of dominance of five important characteristics, or we can call them as five primordial elements. What are these elements? These elements are Akasha Tattva, which gives the possibility for everything to be in existence. Then we have the Vayu Tattva, which leads to animation, or which creates movement. Whenever there is movement, there can be friction, which creates the third Tattva, which is the Agni Tattva, which is responsible for all different types of transformations. The fourth Tattva is the Jala Tattva or Apa Tattva, which leads to cohesion and which helps in construction. And the fifth Tattva, which is the Prithvi Tattva, which creates stability and actually gives form. Just like the external universe, even our body is comprised of these five same tattvas, or these five mahabhutas, as we call them in Ayurveda. These five mahabhutas, they combine in different proportions to create what we call it as our three dosh. Now these three dosh, they are Vata, Pitta and Kapha. People who are from India, we are familiar with this word because they are a part of our tradition. The Vata Mahabhut is mainly responsible for creating all types of movements in our body, like inspiration, expiration, excretion, peristalsis, musculoskeletal movement, our thoughts, speech. The Pitta dosha is responsible for all types of transformation, digestion, metabolism and adaptation. And the Kapha dosha is responsible for bringing things together, cohesion, for growth, for stability and for creating lubrication. Each one of us, when we are conceived with a dominance of one of these three doshas. And during the time of pregnancy, this dominance is more concretized, so it becomes more solidified. And then we are born with certain dominance of either one of these doshas, either one or two. And this is what we call it as our Prakriti. So this is our innate nature, or what we can say, this is our Swabhava, or this is our uniqueness. We can also think of this as our genetical profile or our genetical blueprint. Because of this dominance of this three dosh, we get certain gifts, or what we can say, we get certain abilities, and because of them we also get certain susceptibilities. So whenever you go to an Ayurvedic physician, or when you come to our clinic, you will see that we would first do a Prakriti analysis for you. We will try to find out what is your innate constitution or Prakriti or Swabhava, which will help us to understand what are your abilities and what are your susceptibilities, and which then help us to guide you with respect to managing a particular disease or remaining healthy for a longer time, or maybe some panchakarma therapies. Because health in Ayurveda is described as a harmony or an equilibrium between your innate nature or your swabhava and the external universe. If you can select from the external universe things which create harmony for you, then you will remain healthy for a longer time. This Prakriti is mainly of 7 types. We have 3 types where only one dosh is more dominant. So you can have a Vata Pradhana Prakriti, Pitta Pradhana Prakriti, or Kapha Pradhana Prakriti. Or there can be 3 types of Dvidoshaja Prakriti, where you have a Vata Pitta or a Pitta Kapha or a Vata Kapha type of a Prakriti. And the 7th type is when we have a Sama Prakriti, where all the 3 doshas they are in equilibrium, or they are in equal quantities. In today's video, Neha is first going to talk about the Vata Prakriti, what are its characteristics, what are its abilities, what are its susceptibilities, and what are the different things that we can do in our diet and lifestyle to remain healthy and keep this Vata dosha in balance. And in the next part of this video, so that would be next week, we will be talking about the Pitta Prakriti and Kapha Prakriti. Now, if any one of you is interested to know about your Prakriti, you can easily find a questionnaire online. Just Google for it, Ayurvedic body type questionnaire. Or you can visit an Ayurvedic physician. You can come down to our clinic for an analysis, and we would be happy to do it for you.
What I wanted to talk about, this you would often hear from Vata dominant person. Vata is made of Akash and Vayu Mahabhut among Panchamahabhutas. So you will see more physical characteristics related to movement, dryness, quickness, hollowness, irregularity, coldness. Physical characteristics from head to toe we'll see one by one. Their hair is very dry. Hair, eyes, ears, skin is always tend to have more dryness. So spending lot of money on conditioners or lotions, it's not going to help them. Now if you see their build is very small, or it's very thin body. Their body frame is thin, they have small joints. The muscles, they are not very well developed. So they have low strength. These people, they are always in action. So they can't stay at one place for longer time. They are very talkative. So this you can relate to Mahabhutas, which already I told you about Akash and Vayu Mahabhut. Now, if you see their eyes are very, they are small. The eyelashes are not very thick. Their lips are thin. Their teeth, they are irregular in shape and size. They have long extremities. Their body temperature is tend to have low temperature, and that's why they don't like cold. Their appetite is very irregular. You will never see them eating the same time every day. So one day they will feel very hungry, and maybe the second day they are not. So as a joke, if you have a Vata person as a good friend, and if they invite you for lunch or dinner, make sure or be prepared, it's a risky game. Like their appetite, which is irregular, their digestion is also weak. Their elimination is also not very regular. So these people are prone to have constipation more often. Their sleep pattern is very disturbed. They need very few hours of sleep. They have lot of dreams. Now if you see their mental characteristics, because they are very indecisive, they are not able to make decisions quickly, and even if they make the decisions, they can't follow it. They are usually anxious and fearful people. Vata people or Vata dominant people, it's very easy for them to learn new things, but they tend to forget easily. Now, they are very imaginative, they are creative people. At the same time, they are very sensitive. They are very emotional people, but they can't hold on in any emotion for longer time. They get easily angry, but at the same time, even calmness, getting calmed down is very easy for them. To understand the concept of Prakriti well, Ayurveda has compared these characteristics to the particular animals. For example, the animals like rabbit or goat, birds or squirrels, they have the same characteristics like Vata dominant people. So you will see they are these animals, they are very fearful, they are fast, they are quick, they have low body weight. So, to balance the Vata dosha in the body, for Vata people, it's very important to take care of particular their food or lifestyles. For example, in their diet, they should have warm food, the fresh food, the food which is with lot of ghee and ghee or oil, the unctuousness will increase in the body. They can have small portion of meals at a time, and it's very important that whenever they feel hungry they should eat. When they are not feeling hungry, better to avoid it. Instead of eating raw food more, it's better if they eat cooked food. Now the preferable taste for them to eat is sweet, salty and sour taste, which will help their vata in the body to balance. Now, in lifestyle or in their vihara, what things they can do and what they should avoid. They should do the exercise which is not giving lot of physical exertion, which is not creating lot of physical exertion. So, yoga or doing pranayam, it's very helpful for them. But at the same time, doing lot of cardio, it will increase their vata. Light weight training would be good for them to increase the muscular strength. For Vata people, it's good for them if they put some discipline in their routine. For example, eating at the regular time or sleeping at regular time, doing exercise on a particular their routine time. So it will help them to balance Vata dosha in the body. So looking at all the characteristics, what professions would be good for Vata people? So the being creative and imaginative, artist would be very good for good profession for them, or creative directors, or they can be a good performer like in dancing or in aerobics activity as a teacher, or they can also be very good in travel industry where they can guide people or they can arrange different tours for them. Treatments like Abhyanga, Swedan, Basti or Shirodhara, this will help Vata dosha to be in balanced in Vata dominant people.
Now, after listening to all that Neha has described about the Vata Prakriti, you might think that this is not such a good Prakriti to have, but let me assure you, every Prakriti has its pluses and there are also its minuses. If we can learn this, what are the plus points and the negative points, and we enhance the plus points and try to control the negative points, we will remain healthy. So it is not to make fun of anybody or to say that this is a problem with somebody. It's just to make us aware of the things that we are born with. So friends, this was the part 1 of our video series on Prakriti. We will be back next week with part 2, under which we will cover the Pitta Prakriti and the Kapha Prakriti. So till that time, stay well, stay healthy. Namaskar.